Hello, we are here in Franklin, Indiana today, checking back in with our customer, Carrie Foster. He won our Indianapolis Home Show raffle last year of 2025. Basement Systems of Indiana completed a full crawl space encapsulation, and we are just checking back in to see how it's held up for him. Let's go. All right, thank you, Carrie, again for meeting up with me today to discuss the updated crawl space that we did for you at the Indianapolis Home Show raffle.
Sure, no problem.
So can you describe to me what your crawl space was like before we started the project?
Yeah, truthfully, it was a nightmare. I had redid the inside of this house, and most of what dropped to the floor stayed in the crawl space. So, yeah, it was a nightmare.
And what issues were you experiencing at the time?
I had a center part beam, I think it was, they told me, that was starting to drop. Just old age. The house is in the 50s. So, yeah, it does happen. I understood that. But it was dropping to the point my door was catching on the flooring, which I was afraid it was going to start tearing up my floors. So that's why.
And did those issues, did that affect the comfort or the confidence that you had in your home?
That, and worried about it dropping too much to where you start having drywall problems and roof problems and everything that goes with the basement having problems, or the crawl space having problems, I should say.
And how did you first hear about Basement Systems of Indiana?
I seen you guys at the home show, went by and talked to you, had you come out. You were one of the first people out there. I've had 2 or 3 of them, but you guys were the first. And I liked the way the guy was talking and explaining everything, and they did a good job.
And what was your reaction when you found out that you won the Indianapolis Home Show raffle?
Surprised, and I kept telling them, thank God, you have no idea. I wasn't worried about how I was going to come up with that kind of money, but, you know, not everybody's rich.
And what stood out to you about the installation crew and the overall experience that you had with Basement Systems?
They were go-getters. I'm not going to lie to you, because when they first got here, they were ripping and roaring, and they were taking out things that I had forgotten I'd left them down there. And some of it weighed, I know, 300 pounds, because it was old plumbing and all that stuff that we had left underneath there. They had to cut it up to even get it out of the crawl space. That was how bad it was. So they did a great job, actually. I was really impressed with them.
That's amazing. It's been about a year since the installation. How would you say things have held up?
Very well. The smell is going away. And that's the reason I was happy that they did what they did, because if anybody has an old home, they know you get that old smell, the old crawl space smell that comes up through the floors.
Mm-hmm.
And I really didn't like that, because especially if you didn't run air conditioning or something like that, you would smell it.
Right.
So it got to the point I was like, we got to do something. And that's what really caused the whole situation to get to where it is.
And what was the benefit that you didn't expect but you're especially happy with? Would you say it was the smell?
That and the humidity down there, even it changed the inside of the house. It actually made it better.
Right.
You don't have all that smell and humidity running through the house like you did. You know what I'm saying? If
absolutely.
If you open up all your windows and left your air conditioner off like we do in Indiana,
Mm-hmm.
it helped a lot, actually.
Well, that's awesome. That's really good to hear. Would you recommend Basement Systems of Indiana to homeowners?
No problem. I tell people about them all the time. I do.
That's awesome.
Because they always ask me, I heard you had that done. I said, yeah, I did. I said, I'm telling you, the people are good. Just give them a call.
That's awesome. And what would you tell somebody dealing with a crawl space or the structural issues that is considering to have the work done but is kind of on the edge?
Don't put it off too long, because sooner or later it's going to ruin more than just the floors. It kind of works its way up to the roof line and all that, and you're going to have, if you have chimneys, because Indiana's full of chimneys, so you start losing, things don't stay where they're supposed to anymore.
Gotcha.
Drywall starts breaking, stuff like that. And I'm just telling everybody it's a lot cheaper just to have it done.
Yeah.
It is.
Totally, I would agree. Well, thank you again, Carrie. We appreciate it, and we're so happy to hear that you had a good experience with us.
Yes, I did.
And I appreciate your time today.
Thank you very much.
You. We're so excited to offer it again this year at Indianapolis Home Show. Be sure to stop by booth 8108 to enter in for our project giveaway. It's going to be dates January 16th to January 25th. Be sure to stop by.